Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. This week is the week before Christmas, so we are going to do a bunch of Christmas baking. Today we are going to do Andy's mint cookies. I got this recipe last year and I love it so much, so we're going to make a batch today. So we are going to start with 1 cup and 3 tablespoons of all-purpose flour. Two tablespoons. Okay, and next is 3/4 teaspoons of baking powder. So half a teaspoon and 1/4 teaspoon. And then we have a half a teaspoon of baking soda. Make sure there's no lumps in this. Okay, and then we have a half a teaspoon of salt. Then we're just going to mix all of these dry ingredients together and put aside for a few minutes. Okay, then I'm going to use the stand mixer, and I'm going to put a half a cup of brown sugar plus 2 tablespoons in here. So half a cup. And it's supposed to be packed. And then we are going to add a 1/4 cup of room temperature butter. Perfect. Okay. We're just going to turn this on for it to mix for a second. Okay, now we have creamed the brown sugar in the butter a little bit. We're just going to scrape that off the edges. And we are going to add 1 egg. And it calls for half a teaspoon of vanilla. Just give it a little squirt. Okay, we're going to lift that, scrape it again, and then we're going to slowly add in the dry ingredients. There, that looks good. That all comes together, and then we have 1 cup of chopped Andre's mince that we are just going to blend in here. I will take this out of here to make it easier. We'll leave them, pardon me, we'll leave them about 2 inches apart. And I preheated the oven to 350 and sprayed my baking sheet. So a single recipe really doesn't make all that much. So when I make these, I always make a couple different batches. But this batch is going to do for now. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to freeze some. Oops. So it would make about 12 normal size cookies roughly. There we go. Okay. So you put them in the oven for anywhere from 10 to 12 minutes. So I'll start at 10 and check them. Okay, now I already made another batch just sitting here. So we're gonna freeze some. Just so they don't stick. Okay, these ones I'm going to kind of make more into a ball just to make it easier for freezing. So these don't have to be put far apart because they're just freezing. We're not actually baking them. So when you're pulling these out, when you're ready to bake them, when they've been in the freezer, you can pull them out, let them sit out for 5 to 10 minutes to defrost, or you can put them straight into the oven. You'll just have to add a little bit more time onto the cooking time. I prefer to let them defrost a few minutes first. Yeah, I did this last year. I froze them, and I think I froze 3 or 4 different kinds. And it was nice just once in a while when you feel like a cookie or something, you don't have to actually go and make them. You just pull, I think I would pull like 3 or 4 of each kind out, depending who was home. And yeah, that was kind of nice. Would have actually made one more batch, but I didn't buy enough of the Andes mint, so I will do that later in this week. I will definitely add more to the freezer. Okay, that one's a little small, but that's good. Okay, I will throw these in the freezer. So you flash freeze them like this, probably a couple hours, and then you just take the Ziploc bag, put them in right what it is, right that you cook them at 350 if you're making other ones, because sometimes they cook at different temperatures. And it's as simple as that. So actually you can pre-cook these first. So cook them, cool them, then freeze them. They freeze well like that as well. Or you could just freeze the cookie dough as it is. Okay, they are done and it smells so good. Oh my goodness. Look at those. Actually, these are good size. So you could make them smaller and get more than 12, but nah. They just look so good. So these ones didn't look like they were cooked. Like if you touch them, they're real soft, but the outsides touching the pan start to turn a little brown. So I said, that's where we're gonna go. I like my cookies kind of soft. So yeah, so I am gonna enjoy these. Hi everybody, welcome back to the channel. My name is Charlene. Today we are gonna do another Christmas baked goods treat video. We're going to start with, I found this recipe actually in our newspaper, candy hash, and I've had this for a couple of years and I've never tried it. So it actually calls for 1 pound of white chocolate, and I didn't really pay attention, and I just bought one of these bags, which is not quite 1 pound. So what I'm going to do, because I have a ton of regular chocolate, this one is semi-sweet, so I've measured out 1 pound in here, and I'm going to just melt it in the microwave. Okay, so while that's going, it also calls for a 1/4 cup of almond pieces or slivers. Well, I actually don't have any. So instead of going out and spending more money on just that for a 1/4 cup, I'm just going to use what I have, which is walnuts. So I'm just going to measure out a 1/4 cup, and then I'm just going to kind of chop them a little bit. I'm going to put them in a Ziploc bag. We will just use our meat mallet. Okay, that is done. I'm just going to mix around the chocolate. Okay, so then I'll just start measuring out everything else. So we've got the 1/4 cup of nuts. It's also 1 cup of dry roasted peanuts. So I'm just going to use my no-name salted peanuts. It calls for 1 cup of Captain Crunch. That's going to add some really good flavor. Those out of the way. Okay, checking the chocolate again. Okay, the chocolate is getting there. And I also have a silicone mat on here. You can use wax paper or whatever. I really like the silicone mats because everything just kind of, you can bend it like this and you're not wasting anything. So if you don't have a silicone mat, I suggest you grab one. They're really handy, especially for chocolates and stuff. I really like those. And then we have 1 cup of Rice Krispies and 1 cup of mini marshmallows. Okay, I even have the Christmas Rice Krispies squares. Or Rice Krispies, not the squares. And that should be it for the chocolate. Yeah, that's good. Bowl is pretty hot still. Okay, we're going to dump everything we have in so far. We still have the mini marshmallows to add in. Oops, dropping them on the floor. These ones are slightly stuck together. Oops, oh wow. I am making a mess this morning. Okay, that's good enough. Okay, I'm finished, and this made 22. So now I'm just going to stick it in the fridge to let them harden, and then we'll move on to another recipe. This recipe I guess my mom got from her mom, so it's been around for a while. So we're going to take a half a teaspoon of jam and we're going to put into uncooked tarts. And I have the oven preset at 375. Okay, so, and I'm going to just use some strawberry jam. Just mix that around. So.
We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Tidings we bring.
Okay, then we have to mix a few ingredients together. So we have 2 eggs, 3/4 cup of brown sugar, I'll just check for lumps first before I put it in there. Okay, add that in there. Then we need 1 teaspoon of vanilla. One tablespoon of butter. And I have mine at room temperature already. With bacon season, I always have at least 2 of them sitting on my counter for just in case I get in the baking mood out of the blue. And I think I'm going to mix that first and then add the coconut in. Okay, and then it calls for 3/4 cup of coconut. Okay, now it just says that we put this filling on top and we bake it at 375 for 10 to 15 minutes. Oh, I spilled it there. That's good. Good, sure. Okay, put these in the oven. I'll start with 10 minutes and then I'll keep checking it until 10 to 15. So yeah, I'll check it at 10 minutes. Okay, these are all done. These only took about 10 to 15 minutes in the fridge to harden. And these just came out of the oven and they look and smell so good. I took them out at 14 minutes, these ones. So those are all set and ready. I'll let them sit for a little bit to set a little bit. I remember I think I used to eat them with a spoon because they did have some kind of liquid still in there, but yeah. Okay, so the last cookie item I'm going to make is actually just chocolate chip cookies. That's one thing that I find I have to add to all of the cookie trays I'm making because anytime you have kids or grown men for that matter too, they always seem to gravitate towards that. So I like to make the fancy Christmas stuff, but then I always like to throw in some chocolate chip cookies as well. So this recipe actually makes a lot. What did it say? Oh, this doesn't say. Okay. Anyways, we'll get started. So you're going to combine the margarine, brown sugar, white sugar, eggs, and peanut butter. So we're going to do 1/2 cup of margarine. Half a cup. There it is. That's 1/4 cup. I'll do that twice then. Okay. 2 3/4 cup of brown sugar. Oh, need another spoon. Yeah, this recipe does call for quite a bit of sugar. There is actually no flour in this recipe. Okay, that's 2 3/4. And then it says 1 cup of white sugar. I feel like I'm going to cut back a little bit on the white sugar, just a little bit, Try maybe 3/4. I don't know. I just feel like that might be a little too much. What else? The the eggs. There's 3 eggs in this. And I'll just quickly scramble them in here. And we have peanut butter, which is 1.5 cups. Where's my peanut butter? Here we go. Okay. And then we are just going to blend this. Okay, so then these cook at 350, so I just set the stove. Okay, just making sure we didn't forget anything. Margarine, brown sugar, white sugar, eggs, peanut butter. Okay, and add the baking soda, oatmeal, chocolate chips, and vanilla. Okay, so baking soda. Oh, okay, that's this one. It's 2 teaspoons. And I don't know if I said oatmeal, but there's 4.5 cups of oatmeal. And I've used that for peanut butter, so I'll get a different. Okay. So I have large flakes and the small flakes of oatmeal. So I'm going to use up the last of my small flakes here. And then the rest we'll use for the large flakes. So that's 2, 4, and the vanilla is 1/8 of a teaspoon, which that's not enough. I think I'll mix this just a little bit so it doesn't. There we go. Okay, so we are just going to do this, but the recipe does call for just 1/8 of a teaspoon. And then it calls for 1 cup of chocolate chips. Chocolate chips are here. And I'm just using the semi-sweet. Okay, now we're going to drop our teaspoons onto a baking sheet. It says that you can top with Reese's Pieces. I don't actually have any, so I think we have enough chocolate chips in there. Going to bake it at 350 for 12 minutes. Okay, so we got 4, 8, 16, 20 cookies just from there, and we still have a ton left. So I will do all of this and start cooking them, and I will show you after. Okay, we are done for the day. We ended up with 54 cookies, and that's with me making them extremely big. They taste really good, but yeah, I would make them slightly smaller because they kind of all got stuck together. And then I think I made 22 of these, what were they called? Candy hash. And then we got 12 of the coconut jam tarts. And I did make the Andre's mint cookies a couple days before, but those got eaten within 24 hours. But still, that's a pretty good day's worth of work. If you try any of these recipes, let me know in the comments. Tell me how you enjoyed them. Okay, thank you guys. We'll see you next time. Bye.